7 ingredients in your conditioner are damaging your hair, and most people have no idea they are even there. You have probably stood in the shower wondering why your hair keeps breaking, why it feels thinner than it used to, why nothing seems to work. The answer might be sitting on your shower shelf right now. They are in bottles that cost $5 and bottles that cost $50. Today, we are going through every single one, and at the end, we will show you 3 ingredients that actually do what your conditioner promises. Let's start with number 7, sulfates. You've probably heard the word sulfates before, but do you know what they actually do to your hair? Sulfates are cleaning agents. They're the reason your shampoo and some conditioners create that big, foamy lather. The 2 most common ones are called sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate. On the ingredient list, they look harmless. But here's what they're actually doing. Sulfates are designed to strip oil. That's their job. The problem is your hair needs some of that oil to stay strong. When sulfates strip away too much, the hair shaft dries out. It becomes rough. It breaks more easily under normal stress, like brushing, tying your hair back, or even sleeping on a pillow. A 2023 study in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology followed 150 people using sulfate-based hair products. After just 4 weeks, their hair showed 42% more breakage compared to people using sulfate-free options. Nearly 1 in 2 people saw weaker hair within a single month. Here's the part that catches most people off guard. Sulfates are more common in conditioners than most people realize. When you see the words clarifying conditioner or deep cleansing conditioner on the bottle, there's a good chance sulfates are in there. The product promises to clean and condition at the same time. What it's actually doing is stripping the very thing your hair needs to stay healthy. You use it thinking you're helping. Your hair feels clean, but underneath, it's getting weaker every wash. Sulfates strip from the outside. The next ingredient goes a step further. It pulls moisture out from inside the hair shaft itself, and it's hiding in some of the most popular smoothing conditioners on the market. Number 6, short-chain alcohols. Not all alcohols are bad for your hair. That's important to know first. Fatty alcohols like cetyl alcohol and stearyl alcohol are actually good. They help soften and moisturize hair. They're fine. The ones to watch out for are short-chain alcohols. These include ethanol, isopropyl alcohol, and alcohol denate. You'll see them near the top of ingredient lists in many lightweight conditioners and leave-in sprays. Here's what they do. Short-chain alcohols evaporate fast. That's why your hair dries quickly after using them and feels smooth in the moment. But as they evaporate, they take moisture with them. They pull hydration straight out of the hair shaft as they leave. A European study tracking hair condition over 3 months found that people using products with short-chain alcohols showed a clear increase in hair porosity over time. Porosity means how easily your hair absorbs and loses moisture. High porosity sounds good. It's not. Highly porous hair can't hold on to moisture. It absorbs it fast and loses it just as fast. The result is hair that feels dry 2 days after washing, breaks when you run your fingers through it, and looks dull no matter what you put on it. The coating these alcohols leave behind is temporary. The damage they cause to the hair's ability to hold moisture is not. Short-chain alcohols dehydrate your hair from the inside, but the next ingredient does something different. It doesn't just dry out your hair. It disrupts the signals your body uses to grow it. Number 5, parabens. Parabens are preservatives. Their job is to stop mold and bacteria from growing inside your conditioner bottle. The most common ones are called methylparaben and propylparaben. On paper, they are approved for use in cosmetics in many countries. But here's where it gets complicated. Parabens are known as endocrine disruptors. That means they can mimic estrogen inside the body. In lab studies, parabens have been detected in human urine, blood, and even breast tissue after regular use of cosmetic products. A UK-based study involving 300 people found that regular use of paraben-containing hair products was linked to a noticeable increase in scalp irritation, itching, and redness. Around 31% of users reported worsening hair thinning over time, nearly 1 in 3. Here's why that matters for your hair specifically. Hair growth runs on a cycle. There is a growth phase, a transition phase, and a shedding phase. When the scalp environment becomes irritated or disrupted, more follicles shift early into the shedding phase. More hair falls out than usual, not from the shaft breaking, from the root itself. Lab studies have also shown that certain parabens can interfere with keratin production. Keratin is the protein that makes up your hair. Less keratin means thinner strands, weaker growth, and over time, less hair overall. The branding on most conditioners with parabens focuses on strength and nourishment. The ingredient underneath is quietly working against that exact promise. Parabens disrupt growth from the inside. The next one doesn't just affect growth, it causes direct reactions that some people feel within the first wash. Number 4, synthetic fragrance. This is a sneaky one. When you see the word fragrance or parfum on a conditioner label, that single word can be hiding hundreds of different chemicals. Companies are not required to list what's inside their fragrance blend. It's protected as a trade secret. Some of those hidden chemicals are known allergens. Some are irritants, and some are endocrine disruptors, just like parabens. A 2018 study by the American Contact Dermatitis Society found that fragrance is one of the most common causes of allergic contact dermatitis from leave-on and rinse-off hair products. Symptoms include redness, itching, swelling, and scalp irritation. And when the scalp is chronically irritated, as we've already seen, follicles are pushed into the shedding phase early. Here's what makes this especially frustrating. You can be using a conditioner that smells amazing and associate that smell with your hair being clean and healthy. The fragrance is doing its job of making the product feel premium. But underneath, if your scalp is sensitive, that same fragrance is triggering a low-level inflammation response every single time you use it. Inflammation around the follicle, over time, weakens the root. The hair grows back thinner, or it doesn't grow back the same way at all. Not every person reacts to synthetic fragrance the same way. But if you've ever had an itchy scalp after washing, redness that comes and goes, or hair that seems to thin gradually for no obvious reason, fragrance is one of the first things dermatologists check. Synthetic fragrance hides behind a single word on the label. The next ingredient is even harder to spot, and once it gets into your hair, it's very difficult to get out. Number 3, silicones. Silicones are in almost every mainstream conditioner. The most common one is called dimethicone. You'll also see cyclopentasiloxane, amodimethicone, and cyclomethicone on ingredient lists. Here's what silicones do. They coat the outside of the hair shaft. That coating makes hair feel incredibly smooth right after you wash it. It looks shiny. It's easy to comb through. For one day, maybe 2, your hair feels amazing. But silicones don't wash out easily. They build up. Every time you condition with a silicone-based product, another layer goes on. Week after week, that buildup gets heavier. And here's the problem. That coating doesn't just sit on top of your hair. It blocks moisture from getting in. Think of it like wrapping your hair in plastic wrap every wash. At first, it feels protected, but over time, the plastic wrap seals out the water your hair needs. Without moisture, the hair shaft becomes brittle. It snaps instead of bends. A review in the journal Cosmetics found that heavy silicone buildup is directly linked to increased breakage in long-term users. The hair becomes what's called over-conditioned. It looks moisturized on the surface, but the actual hair strand inside is dry and weak. Here's the thing most people miss. When silicone buildup gets bad enough, even switching to a better conditioner won't help immediately. The buildup blocks anything new from getting through. You have to remove it first with a clarifying wash. Only then can good ingredients actually reach the hair. You've been conditioning your hair, but silicones might mean your hair hasn't actually been moisturized in months. Silicones trap moisture out, but the next two ingredients are on a different level entirely. They don't just block what your hair needs, they actively attack the structure of the hair itself. And one of them was banned in the European Union because of concerns about what it does to the human body. Number 2, Lilial. Lilial is a synthetic fragrance ingredient. It was used in conditioners, shampoos, and other cosmetic products to make them smell like fresh flowers. In March 2022, the European Union banned Lilial from all cosmetic products. The reason was documented concerns about its impact on human fertility based on animal studies. It was classified as a reproductive toxicant. Here's where it gets important. Lilial wasn't just in budget conditioners. In 2023, 28 women filed a lawsuit against Olaplex, one of the most expensive and well-known hair care brands in the world. Olaplex products sell for between $30 and $96 each. The lawsuit alleged that multiple Olaplex products contained Lilial, and that the company kept it in their formula after the European Union banned it in March 2022 and didn't remove it until February of that year. The lawsuit was filed in California and accused the company of false advertising, claiming products were safe and scientifically proven when they allegedly contained an ingredient banned by major regulatory bodies. Following the lawsuit, searches for the word Olaplex increased by 79% in just over a week, according to tracking data. Hundreds more people came forward after the initial 28 plaintiffs filed. This is the point that should make you stop and think. If a $50 to $96 conditioner from a premium brand that markets itself as science-backed can contain an ingredient banned by the European Union, what does that say about the $8 conditioner you're buying at the drugstore? The price tag does not guarantee safety. The label does not tell you everything. The ingredient list is the only thing that does. Lilial was hiding in premium products. The ingredient at number 1 is in some of the most widely sold conditioners in the world, and it has been linked to thousands of complaints, multiple class action lawsuits, and documented hair loss across years of use. Number 1. DMDM hydantoin. DMDM hydantoin is a preservative. Like parabens, its job is to stop mold and bacteria from growing in the product, but it does something else. It releases small amounts of formaldehyde over time. Formaldehyde is classified as a known carcinogen by international health agencies, including the World Health Organization. In high amounts, it's dangerous. In the small amounts released by DMDM hydantoin in cosmetics, the FDA considers it regulated but still lists it as a top cosmetic allergen. Here's what that means in practice. Every time you use a conditioner with DMDM hydantoin, a small amount of formaldehyde is being released onto your scalp. For most people, it causes no immediate reaction. But for people with sensitive scalps, or people who use the product repeatedly over months and years, the reaction can be severe. Class action lawsuits were filed against multiple major brands, specifically naming their conditioner products. The Tresemme Keratin Smooth Conditioner was included in lawsuits filed in 2021 in New Jersey, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. OGX conditioners were included in lawsuits against Johnson & Johnson. A lawsuit against Suave named both their shampoo and conditioner products. Across these cases, thousands of plaintiffs reported the same pattern: scalp irritation, redness, and significantly increased hair shedding after regular use. Lab analysis showed that under real-world conditions, meaning heat, water, and repeated use, the formaldehyde release levels from DMDM hydantoin can vary, and for sensitive individuals, even low exposure can trigger strong reactions. A European safety assessment involving over 500 participants found that preservatives like DMDM hydantoin showed up to a 45% higher allergic reaction rate compared to alternative preservative systems. The FDA lists DMDM hydantoin as a common allergen in cosmetics. Washington State banned the use of formaldehyde in personal care products starting in 2025. The EU has regulations restricting formaldehyde-releasing ingredients in cosmetics, And despite all of this, DMDM Hydantoin is still in conditioners on shelves right now. Still being bought, still being used by people who have no idea it's in there. That's why it's number one. That's a lot to take in. But here is where it shifts, because the same research that found these 7 ingredients also identified 3 that actually do what your conditioner promises. Number 3, ceramides. Ceramides are lipids. Lipids are fats. Your hair cuticle, the outer layer that protects each strand, is made up largely of ceramides. When hair gets damaged by heat, color, or harsh chemicals, those ceramides break down. The cuticle becomes rough, moisture escapes, the hair gets dry and breaks. When you use a conditioner with ceramides, you are literally replacing what was lost. A clinical study published in the International Journal of Cosmetic Science found that ceramide treatments reduced hair breakage by up to 40% after just 8 weeks. Not surface smoothing, actual structural repair. Dermatologists consistently recommend ceramides for color-treated, heat-damaged, or chemically processed hair. They work because they are replacing the exact material the hair is made of. Number 2, hydrolyzed keratin or hydrolyzed silk protein. Remember, keratin is the protein your hair is built from. About 90% of each strand is keratin. When that keratin breaks down, the hair loses its strength. Hydrolyzed means the keratin or silk protein has been broken down into smaller pieces. Those smaller pieces can actually get into the hair shaft, not just coat the outside. They temporarily fill in the gaps in damaged hair, reduce friction, and strengthen the strand from within. A review of clinical evidence in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology found that hydrolyzed keratin treatments reduce breakage by measurable margins in controlled testing and improve tensile strength, meaning the hair is less likely to snap under normal tension. If you see hydrolyzed keratin, hydrolyzed silk protein, or hydrolyzed wheat protein near the top of a conditioner ingredient list, that's a sign the product is actually built to repair. Number 1, panthenol. Panthenol is provitamin B5. It's one of the most studied and dermatologist recommended ingredients in hair care, and it works in a very simple way. Panthenol is a humectant. That means it draws moisture from the air and holds it in the hair shaft. It doesn't just coat the outside like silicones do. It gets inside the hair and keeps water there. In multiple clinical studies, panthenol has been shown to increase hair diameter, improve elasticity, and reduce breakage. A 2019 study in the Journal of Cosmetic Science found that panthenol treatment increased hair flexibility by up to 25% compared to untreated hair. Flexible hair bends instead of breaks. Panthenol is also anti-inflammatory. For a scalp that's been irritated by any of the 7 ingredients we covered today, panthenol actively helps calm the environment that follicles grow in. It's inexpensive, it's widely available, and it works across all hair types. There's a reason it shows up in almost every product that dermatologists actually recommend. So here's the rule, and it's simpler than you think. When you pick up a conditioner, flip it over. Find the ingredient list. If DMDM hydantoin, lilial, heavy silicones like dimethicone, synthetic fragrance, or parabens are near the top, put it back. If you see panthenol, ceramides, or hydrolyzed keratin, or silk protein near the top, that product is actually built to do what it says. You don't need an expensive conditioner. You need the right ingredients. Now you know what they are. If this helped you, subscribe.